This video is by no way means to treat your ADHD, but you are more than welcome to try it. Elden Ring, Game of the Year and Keeper of Gaining Good, a game created by our Lord and Savior Hayao Tako Miyazaki. Now we must explore the lands in between in this new and only DLC that introduces new bosses, new weapons, and new lands. No, literally, this place is too fucking big, and a new will to not feel like a useful good boy, but rather the will to finally unearth the truth about Miquella, that Morg was actually the Morglester, and not the Morglester? We're back at Uncle Morg's palace, who currently is guilty until proven otherwise. The prosecutor's lawyer is already ready to greet us. It seems that a key witness is missing and we must go on a mission to track down said key witness, who I believe is a literal child. So far I have gathered that this Miquella is the most normal of all the demigods. I sure hope Miyazaki had nothing to do with his character development. Upon touching Daihan and luckily not seeing the face of Chris Hansen, we are transported to the land of Shadow, which sits directly under an Erdtree, hence DLC name, Shadow of the Erdtree. Duh, but fuck whatever that is. Going into the DLC at level 127, I was quite confident in my skills to plow through this area. I mean, whose ego wouldn't be inflated after becoming the literal Elden Lord? Oh look, a new enemy NPC. This should be quite easy. If our first death wasn't embarrassing enough, we are introduced to the DLC's unique leveling up system. To put it simply, the Shadow of the Erdtree takes everything you accomplished from the main game and chucks it into a wood chipper. If that wood chipper was designed to shred your hopes and dreams and all that you had accomplished. The best scenario I can come up with is that you have basically been isekai'd into another world and your levels don't mean shit. So basically, re-zero. With a little bit of exploring and a bit of done, we get to our first dungeon boss because, you know, who doesn't just put a mini boss right near the start? Hang on a minute, is that an AK-47? Remember when you first played Elden Ring and were faced off with the Tree Sentinel? The Black Gown Knight is pretty much your new daddy and he's gonna make sure you're ready for what's ahead, which is basically constant death and a reminder that you are no longer the Elden Lord. Besides having a literal submachine gun and a sword that takes out more than half your health, he literally has only one job: to make sure you know that you are not ready for this DLC. I will bring this up so many times because I cannot stress enough how hard this DLC is and how underleveled I constantly feel. Now that's out of our way, let me try on this armor set. Oh god. If you think that I could take this flaming giant of a furnace on, you'd be dead wrong. Not only do I do no damage to this walking heat lamp, but I would not even think to challenge something that towers above me and makes me beg for my mommy.
Where are the goblins?
Sorry. It seems we are given a map to follow the remains of this Miquella. What the fuck is even this map, bro? We go to the only place that seems plausible, which is this massive overpass that just screams, hey, come through me. I wonder who this guy is. What the fuck?
You buy, I sell.
Oh, you poor thing. I go in the direction in the only way I know how, because of the fucking door, and I'm ready to start my journey. Oh, what the fuck is that? Whoever created this enemy must really hate humanity, because that is literally a scorpion mixed in with a spider. Oh my god, he has fucking babies. Get the fuck away from me. That looks like a fountain of shit, but there is an item over there. Don't mind if I do. Why do all these enemies do so much damage? Please sir, I am the Elden Lord. Stop taking so much health. These new enemies are a real fucking pain in the ass because they do boss level damage and they are everywhere. Don't even know why this exists. It's not a boss because it sure does test my patience. Oh hey, look, an empty room with nothing to fear. Oh no, not these guys again. I'm starting to feel like this town is just full of horrors and all things jump scare. Oh well, it's time to resort to running past everything that will most likely kill me, but is not important to the story.
O horn-decked beast from higher sphere delivered, take root inside the tower's sculpted keepers, and perched within, we beg of thee, rise.
I did not know it was Chinese New Year. Good doggy lion thingy. Introducing the dancing line. Here it shows off its amazing dance skills. Aren't they electrifying? It definitely gives chills to my bone. Please help me. This is a wonderful first DLC boss to really make me feel like one of those fortune cookies. And that fortune is that I will sooner die in real life than finish this DLC. I would have never been able to beat this boss at my current situation if it wasn't for my coward way of summoning my little helpers. I paid $50 for this DLC and I will complete it the way I want to. After beating and insulting the whole Chinese calendar, I can really take my time and admire the beauty of this game. Another Thorn War? What is it with this game and its need to burn down big trees? After beating that boss, we're directed eastwards. At this stage, I really am given a new perspective on just how horrible the NPC system is, because it makes me feel like I accomplished something after a big boss fight, but when I die to these lesser peasants, my mind goes into suicide. We eventually get to our next boss, who I later found out is actually an optional boss and wasn't actually needed to progress the DLC story. Relana, or however you say her name is, Relana is a perfect way to hide that she is an aliener and completely means to fuck your ass. As if I don't understand how insignificant I am in this world, this boss is a constant reminder. This is a true test of my sanity. Summons, mimic, a change in weapons, you name it. I have never been more desperate to beat someone up, even more than my ex's new boyfriend. Her second stage is even more annoying, and that twin moon, oh my god. Don't even get me started on her twin moon. How the fuck do you dodge this shit? If you're wondering why there isn't an epic montage for this boss, it's because after 2 hours, I finally gave up. I swear, Relana, the analer, I will return. What's Elden Ring without being an open world game and forcing you to take a break and explore what it has to offer? Except all Shadow of the Erdtree has to offer is a constant dishing of getting good. In today's exploration, it would take us to the likes of lava mines, bowl cut worshippers, a literal jar hell, and dragon people that definitely will not lead us to a later boss, among other things that want to kill us within 2 hits. But first, we are back in this gloomy town to properly explore all this town has to offer in our favorite place to constantly get spawn killed. Yes, even you. Meet Bob and his stupid bowl cut who pops out of nowhere in the name of Mesmere. Whoever the fuck that is. He's very flashy and a little bit annoying, but I'm sure we won't have to deal with him anymore. Shadow of the Erdtree has these mini dungeons for you to explore, which when completed gives you some pretty cool special weapons, except they are heavily guarded by these giant golems, whose weak spots are not really their weak spots. What kind of game puts an obvious weak spot, only for it not to be weak? It's a big shame though, because this dungeon looks really, hot. But I can still admire the level design while getting a weapon I would never use by running past everything that tries to attack me. I never knew you could get so lost and end up being in a late game area because I don't know where the fuck I am. I ended up on Castle Keep, I think, somehow. Oh great, another night. Oh shit, it's a fucking angel of death. I guess this means I won't go to heaven now. We go around fighting useless places like this bottomless town that I definitely would not jump in. This guy who won't talk, and this lobster by himself who I definitely would not go and approach. Does anyone know what these worm things are? Because this is not Avatar and I would not let these things connect to my brain and sync up with it. You do not want to know what's inside my head. Traveling across this plain field with a side of grace so far behind is such a wonderful idea. I'm sure this church will have nothing for me to worry about. Oh, not you again. This bowl cut motherfucker induces so much rage into me that I do not even know how to act. The faith in not throwing my controller at the wall was tested so many times that I was gently tweaking out. That 1 minute horse ride back just to get my ass handed to me was beyond annoying. Just knowing this man right here was not a boss, not even a mini boss, fueled my obsession to beat the living crap out of him. Welcome to the jar prison, where literally this is a prison for jars. How did I get here? I have no idea. You want a jar? Well, now you can be a jar, as we find out with this fleshy monstrosity. Does that mean that there's actual sentient beings inside these jars? I definitely still do not feel guilty for killing Alexander. Ooh, is that a chest? Oh, what the fuck? Is this jar hell? Where even am I? I am so lost. Is this my punishment for killing Alexander? Oh damn, Yoda, is that you? Not gonna lie, this one was kind of one of the easiest bosses I had to face in this game. He didn't even deserve his own montage. What the fuck is that sound? I honestly kind of wanted to kill him just out of mercy, but his voice line goes hard. I wonder who this bear is though, as my past self ponders, not knowing the horrors that await him in part 2 of this video. Nothing good comes from a dungeon of fire-breathing skeletons, but worse is these messages telling me to jump off a cliff. Elden Ring has made me have trust issues, and this is the last straw if I die. Oh, I survived. I guess after a lot of running around, I did a Forrest Gump and decided that it was time to go home. Relena, you ain't no bitch. It's time to face me. With that triumphant win under my belt, I felt invincible and that I could face anything that comes my way. Not the NPCs though, because they still slaughter me like I was an ant underneath their feet. The next part of the video comes with 4 unique bosses, 3 of which almost put me into a mental asylum. All 3 of them reside in this fucking castle. Welcome to Shadowkeep, which I can only presume is the keeper of shadows. I need help. Considering that the game literally leads us to this entry point in the castle, and we just defeated the boss, whose bright idea was to put a fucking hippo here. Meet the Golden Hippo. The Golden Hippo is one annoying boss. I didn't even realize he was a main boss because it was so soon after Relena. The problem isn't the actual fight itself, not the fight we have with our camera angles, not the grabby move that is basically unavoidable, but the pure aggression of the stinky hippo. At this stage, you might be wondering why is it called the Golden Hippo? Well, that's because in its second stage, it turns into a fucking porcupine with golden spikes. It's a golden hippopine. What the fuck is this, Miyazaki? Before we hunt down our next abuser, we must obtain a certain item that will help us later. Introducing the chicken wing. This tool of destruction is what will carry us through the entire game. I am not kidding. This weapon scales on arcane, but because of, I don't know, DLC, it causes some major blood loss. And since it's a colossal weapon, it also deals some heavy stagger damage. With our KFC wing secured, we must now watch some YouTube tutorials, because to get to the next boss is a fucking maze. Were the level designers on crack when they designed this castle? I refuse to believe people just find this boss. This is Commander Gaius, or Gus. I'm gonna call him Gus because he looks like a Gus, or as I like to call him, I don't really care about him because besides being a wannabe Radon, it's his fucking pig he's running on that's the problem. There's a certain move that you kinda have to dodge at the very start. There's a 25% chance that you dodge it, a 50% chance that you won't, and a good 25% chance that it will kill you regardless, which makes it really hard to summon my brother in arms. His movesets are not the problem, much like the Hippopine. It's the fact that he cannot stop attacking me and squishing me like a cockroach. His second phase is a bit more impressive and just a little bit more aggressive, which makes my strategy of using Mimic as a damage sponge all the more impossible. With our dinner hunted down, we can now move on to our main course. But to get to him, you guessed it, we have to watch some more tutorials and do some more parkour. But this time, we have these red hooded bitches. I don't know why I said it like that, huh? As if I thought that every other NPC was bad, these auto-target flame balls just do not to be this specific with its targeting. I'm calling racism on this. There's not a whole lot of build up getting to Mesmere besides this one red hooded priest guarding his door, but I'm sure it can't be that bad.
Mongrel intruder.
Where's that snake coming from?
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
Yeah, that better not be his dick.
Those stripped of the grace of gold, shadow of death. In embrace of Ulysses.
Mesmere is the cracked out uncle you never want to meet because he does not fuck you, he abuses you. There is no godly amount of reason within this earth that can explain why this boss was so hard. I spent more than 4 hours on him only to have the result of a small splash pool of damage on him. Even with Mimic, I was pathetic. I am not kidding. I died more than 100 times and had to take therapy for this. The only thing I heard in my sleep was Miss Flame, Miss Flame. Shut the fuck up. I always expect a second phase from these bosses by now, but you know this shit is getting serious when there's a cutscene. I know I'm into tentacle hentai, but this is a bit too much. With the flame needed for our spit roast, we must now find our cherry on top for our dessert. Welcome to the ancient ruins of Ro? What's with Elden Ring and these names? Unlike Shadowkeep, this area wants you to get the fuck out. It just isn't clear on that and has you running around like a headless chicken. Even when you do get out, you are greeted with what I thought was a normal knight, but it actually turns out he's just a My Little Pony fan. This area is too damn big for its own good that I'm scared and just want to go home. Running away from everything that scares me is a really good strategy because I don't even know how I stumbled upon the boss gate. Oh, I think I'm in love. She is definitely one of my favorite bosses from the DLC, solely because of how cool and pink this fight was. I didn't even get mad at her for trying to peg me. Honestly, she was just too pretty to get mad at. It also helped that the damage I dealt to her actually made me feel like I was able to beat her, and not just able to leave a scratch on her. She can poison me any day of the week. After killing the only woman I would ever love, I'm finally met with a game-breaking decision. Burn that bitch down. Hey guys, Toby here, and today we're gonna finally get to the bottom of this case. This entire last area is filled with enemies to test your might. We're almost at the end now, and they are trying to make sure it stays that way. I'm not fatphobic, I swear, but that scares me. Getting past this lightning lion, I don't even know how to describe him honestly, was more of a pain because even trying to run past him, we are stopped by these auto-aiming sons of it. I'm sorry to swear so much at this point. This game is really starting to get to me, and the only useful tip I've had was keep climbing up. How the fuck do I keep climbing up when these guys are relentless in stopping me? I don't think he was meant to do that. That's what you get from trying to stop me. Just when I thought I'd finally arrived, it turns out that the lawyers are here to get rid of some evidence. Get rid of us. Cut loose ends. Absolutely fuck us. We are ganged up on the only person I thought would help us, and Master Shifu himself. They must have thought this was a knife fight because I brought a mimic and a summon. These hands are rated E for everyone. This was it. All the hours of dying, grinding, and feeling somewhat accomplished has led me to this fight. Our main witness, Consort Radagon. Welcome to your worst fucking nightmare. The definition of insanity is to do something over and over again, expecting something to change. That is what this fight felt like. There is no more summons, just me and Mimic. Radagon is a perfect end boss because I can finally witness his greatness. Somehow, he feels a little bit easier than Mesmere because he doesn't aggro out as much and his movesets are a lot more enjoyable to learn. Just seeing how many times I get pummeled leads me to believe that Prime Radagon would absolutely wipe Malenia. Feet! Oh, it's a child! We finally found our main suspect, but it seems that the turns have tabled because we are the ones now getting tickled. Even my Mimic was violated. His second phase is even better because now he deals holy damage and also blinds you. I definitely love being blinded by his special attacks. It's honestly a shame that we have to put him down. I think with this evidence, we can finally put Mohg's accusations to rest and give him an apology. We are sorry, Mohg. Hey guys, Toby here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more videos. This was the most ambitious video I've made so far, so I kind of want to do some closing remarks while I have the time. I can say that Shadow of the Erdtree was definitely one of the best DLCs I have ever played. It really felt like a whole new game at times, and it was just crazy the amount of content from software actually put into it. There's definitely a lot more content, enough for part 2 of this video. As most of you know, this video just kind of showcased the main storyline bosses, but at the time of this video, I've just defeated Baal, and I'm pretty sure I just have 3 more side bosses to find, so a part 2 is definitely in the world. So definitely don't forget to subscribe to see that video when it comes out. Again, thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you next time.